computer, I'll be able to.
Now can you hear? I have my microphone off.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot it was off. Because I'm live technically, so they could hear everything. So that's why I turned my microphone off. Can you turn your camera on?
Because I'm. What?
Hey.
Yeah.
Alright, since they can hear everything, let me go live. And we'll work out the kinks as they go. What's up, guys? PURPLEXEDQT here. And welcome. If you guys are new, welcome to my channel. I know I got a lot of new subs today. And I know I had my microphone off, though, so you guys couldn't hear me before. And then he said he couldn't hear me. And I was like, oh, that's why. So, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I have a really special guest today. So let me give you guys a little background. What I've done the last 48 hours is, I don't want to call it the murder house, but went over to Athens, went over to Elkwood, saw where the murder took place. If you're not familiar and you're really brand new, 14-year-old named, we believe, Mason Sisk, annihilated his whole family. It included a 6-month-old baby, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, and mom and dad. Well, stepmom and dad. They had just come back from a trip from Florida, and either that night or that night or the following night.
It was that night.
That night that they got back from Florida, they were all killed. The 14-year-old led the police the next day to the gun. And he's now, as of now, he's being charged as a juvenile. So I went snooping around, went to the funeral this morning, and one of my live streams happened to come across Aaron, who you guys are going to meet in a minute. Some of you guys met him before. And he is very familiar with the area and the property. And we are now here. So let me say hi. I'm not going to go through it. There's too many people in here already. So I'm just going to say hi to everyone. Love you guys. And it is awful. It's an awful case. The funeral was heart-wrenching. I didn't stay for the whole thing. Lots of people there. Lots of tears. And let me go ahead and introduce my special guest. Yeah, Aaron is Aaron. Amy's his wife. If you go to their channel, you can see that it's Amy and Aaron. You had a baby in 2016?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could see Amy and Aaron to know they're legit. On the channel, they did a pregnancy surprise in, I think it was September of 2016. So I did speak to Aaron on the phone previously just to, make sure he wasn't a troll or something like that. So he sounds legit. I mean, can I definitively prove it? No, but he sounds legit. So we're going to give him a chance. I know you guys have a lot of questions. I know you guys are wonderful and welcoming people. He does have a channel. Feel free to subscribe to Amy's channel. And what else? All right, so let me introduce him, or I'll let him introduce himself. So, Aaron, who are you? How'd you find me? And how are you connected to the case?
Several people have sent me links to your channel.
Awesome.
That's how I found your channel.
Okay.
I'm connected because it was my childhood house.
Okay.
My family rented to them, yes.
Okay.
Here, let me go ahead. Let me just turn the video. Hold on.
And let me also say that the Lovell name is all over Elkwood. Like, I looked up, when I was looking up your number, I looked up the name. I was like, wow, there's like a ton of them.
Here, let's just do this.
Hard to see, but...
Hold on. Hold on.
Trigger happy, he's married.
Sorry.
This bigger. Alright.
Hold on. Can you see?
I could see enough.
Oh, this camera is awful. Hold on. Where is it?
I'm going to make chat small so I can make the window screen bigger.
Is that proof enough?
That's proof enough.
Okay.
Hold on. Guys, I gotta make the screen bigger. Alright. Whoop. Alright, how's that?
Okay. Everybody satisfied with that?
Yes. Can you keep... Oh, you can't keep your camera on and watch chat?
No.
Oh, okay. I understand. So, a lot of people are sending you my link. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, I thought it was bad at first, but it's not a problem because y'all are actually wanting to know about it instead of just making something up. So that's
exactly.
That's fine.
And from what I'm seeing from the family, that seems to be like the biggest thing is everyone's getting really, really upset with the media because nobody's telling the truth.
I mean, there's that, and they just kind of make up whatever they want about the father. They haven't said anything about the mother or what she did, the kids, none of that stuff. They just keep focusing on the dad because he rode motorcycles. There was no robbery with the same gun. None of that stuff happened.
Oh, I didn't even hear that one. So
they said that he had done a hold up with that gun. I think it was CNN.
That's right. Yep, I did hear that. Hear that.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
All right. So what I want to do is I want to do this kind of in chronological order, just instead of jumping around. First things first. So Mason was a good kid, for as far as everyone knows.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't have any violent history. He didn't have any violent history. He didn't have any felonies or anything that would make anyone think he was going to murder all 5 of them.
No.
Okay. And
there was no indication of anything like that. He's just, for the most part, a normal kid.
Okay. Now, one of the things that I want to dispute immediately, because I've seen this said a couple of times, and I don't think I told you guys, but I spoke to him about it privately, is that the gun. The news reports all keep saying that it's an illegal gun. It's not an illegal gun. It was the grandmother's gun, and he stole it from the grandmother, correct?
That's correct. 100% correct. I heard that directly from the grandmother. It didn't belong to the dad, and I'm not even convinced he knew it was there.
Okay. Now, the grandmother, I'm assuming, didn't know it was missing until after the fact?
I think she knew it was missing, but I don't think she ever suspected
that it was him.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the grandmother was his mom or her mom?
It was the mother's grandmother.
Okay.
I mean, it's his grandmother, but it was her mom.
Okay. The biological mom, do you know anything about her?
No.
Okay. So you don't know how she died or anything?
No, the one from the basement that died a while back?
No, the grandmother was the one that lived in the basement. The mother, the biological mother, died
of Mason. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anybody does. I don't think he does.
Okay. All right. So now let's go back in order. I just want to clear that up about the gun. So the gun was not illegal. It came from the grandmother. Mason stole it from the grandmother. So
I guess you can be technical about it. It's illegal for him to have it because of his prior charges.
Okay.
I don't think he knew it was there.
Okay. And they had just come back from Florida. They had lived there about 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what the neighbor said, that they were there about 4 years. Did his father ever teach Mason how to shoot a gun or anything?
I doubt it.
Because it was a 9mm, and I find it really, really odd that this kid was a 14-year-old was able to shoot everybody in one shot. I always found that odd. I don't want to go with any alternative theories, but I found that
feel odd about it too. But I know everybody's got their own theories on everything, but I'm really leaning towards it was just him.
Okay. And I've been living here. Let me give you a little background. I've been living here about 3 years, since 2016. I grew up in New York City. And here, guns are just so massive. Like, everybody has a gun. Everybody believes in guns. Being that his father had done some fucked up shit in Indiana, do you think he ever taught Mason how to use it, or you wouldn't have any idea?
I'm not really sure on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about personal stuff.
Okay.
Everybody kind of keeps to their own business, really,
Okay.
around there, and when we rent it to them. I wasn't best friends with the people. I'm just saying, from
Okay.
outward appearance, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but
That's true, too. Now, you also made a comment when you first started talking today. You said that nobody knew what the mom did. What was that? What do you mean by that?
what I mean by that is that they're not talking about the positive side of any of the family's life, really. They're just focusing in on the dad, the motorcycles, and the gun. They're ignoring the rest of it.
Okay. Can you tell us anything about the rest of it that you might know? Like,
But she worked with special ed in
mm-hmm.
Huntsville. I mean, she was a teacher, and she was very well equipped to deal with the situation if Mason had one.
Okay. Any thoughts from your family about why he would have killed a 6 month old or his brother and sister? I can see, like, if I put myself inside of a serial killer, if I put myself inside a kid killer, I can see killing a parent, maybe even both parents. I can't see killing a 6 month old baby. And
I
that's,
can't either.
I mean,
I,
have you heard anything
but
about why he did it or anything?
no, I haven't. There's not been even a whisper of why.
Hmm. That's crazy. Um,
I feel like he got set off by something. Somebody earlier said something about explosive anger disorder or something.
yeah.
That's probably a high candidate. It's possible, which I don't know for a fact, and I don't take it as a fact, but I'm pretty sure he was on medication, and maybe they didn't have what he needed on his way home from the trip, or maybe he ran out and something set him off. There's no telling. Yeah, a tantrum basically.
But wouldn't it have been premeditated if he had already taken the gun?
I mean, he could have took it for other reasons. I don't know if it's true or false about the animals that I'm seeing in the news, because that's not, like I said, we don't go down there and see what people's doing all the time. So
But
he could have got him. He could have got it for that reason.
all right, let me ask you though, wouldn't your grandfather or your family see any dead carcasses? I mean, it's a pretty big land. Wouldn't they see any dead carcasses or anything, or bones around more than a
But
normal
see,
hunting?
you can't get back there, so you can't see how expansive it is back there. There's walking trails and woods and hills, and there's all sorts of stuff back there. So I mean, it could be anywhere out there if there really is something. And if there is something out there, I'm sure the investigators will find it.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the investigation, and because it's a juvenile, everything is so hush hush. It's like you know nothing. But what I'm thinking, and maybe you heard right if I'm right or wrong, but what I'm thinking is two people were still alive. They don't say which two. One parent, one kid. But by the time he called the police, he had already walked down the road to get rid of the gun. He had already cleaned himself up. He cleaned off all the blood. So, does anyone know approximately what time it actually happened? Or they haven't said?
They haven't said, but I can tell you it was the dad and it was the brother
Oh,
that were the two that were med flighted.
okay. So it was the dad and the brother that were in the hospital.
The other three didn't make it to begin with.
Wow. Do you know where he shot them?
Layout wise, no, I have no idea. I'm not going back in.
No, no, no. I meant where on their bodies.
Oh, the They were all shot in the head.
Oh, they were shot in the head. It's crazy. I wish I knew more about guns. I don't gun people. I need your
Hold on a
help here.
second.
All right.
Positive Panther. It was the older brother.
Well, that's something we didn't know. Because everyone was curious. Now, any word if he's gonna be tried as a juvenile or if they're gonna change it to adult?
If he's on medication and there were actually problems mentally with him, I from history, just watching trials and stuff unfold,
Yeah.
most likely he won't be. But if they find him fit to stand trial, then he may be very well tried as an adult.
See, I'm so tossed on that because, I mean, you said you watch Case a lot, but I'm so tossed on that because, on one hand, all right, I have two 14-year-olds, I have twins. 14-year-olds cannot make that kind of decision. However, at the same time, if that 14-year-old can wipe out his whole family, he kind of knows what he's doing. So it to me it's like this catch 20, like not a catch 22, but it's like this weird almost dichotomy. Like, all right, if he was mature enough to wipe out his whole family, he should be mature enough to make a decision. You know what I mean? But it's kind of hard to, I don't know. The thing that pisses me off about the news though is they keep saying, oh, if he gets tried as an adult, it's going to be a capital murder charge. He can't get the death penalty. He's 14 years old. So I don't know why they keep throwing that in there.
Because it's a story.
That's true. Do you know what? Well, it may have been left over. Do you know what kind of medication he was on?
No, I don't know.
All right.
That's speculation on my part, but he. Some people say he was one way, and other people say he's the other way. The only contact I ever had, he was outgoing and pretty nice kid. I mean, I never had a run-in with him.
Did he play sports at all?
I don't think so.
Was he like a loner type?
I can't really answer that. I don't go to school there.
No. Yeah, I was gonna go to the football game yesterday, and I just didn't want to go by myself.
I don't think it'd be a good idea.
I know, that's why I was like, do I really want to pay to get in? And I'm just not really going to talk to anyone. And
it's like $2. It's not that expensive.
Oh, really? Here it's $7.
Well, I mean, that's Madison,
Yeah. Still, though. But I didn't know. But I was just like, I kind of felt weird. And I did speak to the neighbor, the one with the red truck, the one to the right. And the one I was questioning. I mean, he at first didn't want to talk because the news, totally were assholes about it. But then he changed his mind and we were talking for a few minutes. He was actually really nice. But he said the same thing.
That's the owner.
Oh, yes. That's the owner? That's your grandfather?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm the one that's been fending the news off the road because they're tearing up our grass and setting up tripods in the middle of the road and everything else.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them asking questions, but if they want facts and stuff like that, that's fine. But just making up total nonsense is what our problem is out there.
Wow. I won't make up nonsense.
Well, that's why I'm here.
And I appreciate it.
Straight.
I definitely appreciate it. No, because I thought the guy that was on the go-kart yesterday, when I first pulled up, he had a golf cart, and then he had the dog with him, and I just assumed that was the owner because they were on that property. So that's why I was questioning you so much. No, I know.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I know you said it was a bulldog. That's a guy from down the street. He was just being nosy, like I said earlier.
So now you said you were in the house. What was that scene like?
No comment.
I mean, was it horrific?
Yeah, I'm not.
Fair enough. Supercell has a question, and she's right. That must feel like such an invasion of privacy with having the news do that.
It is. I mean, I can't go. Me and my family can't go anywhere in town without there being a newspaper or someone's talking about it. I've been there since I don't know, 5 years old or so, like in that area. And now I can't even go downtown without people whispering to each other when I walk into a place. So I can't even go downtown.
Yeah, but your name, your last name is huge in that town. Huge. I mean, I looked it up, and there's not that many people living there, and there's so many with your last name. And I'm like, so I can totally agree with I could totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um, Now, Mason does have an attorney now, right? I do believe he does.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I do believe he does. That's his grandfather told me that yesterday, that they did. So his grandfather is the guy that I spoke to yesterday, the neighbor. Um, 14, he knew right from wrong. He did know right from wrong, but at 14, you make decisions that you may regret later.
Let me do this. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. After he did what he did, he like y'all said, he cleaned up, because that was my first question. Was he not just covered? And it apparently he had time to clean up, leave, drive around, call his girlfriend, come back to the house, then call the police.
Oh, he drove around?
Yeah.
That's right. You can drive at 14 here. I forget. Not my
No,
kids.
you're not. No, he's not supposed to.
He drove his parents' car?
Yeah.
To get rid of the gun.
Well, that's what I thought, but I mean, he didn't try very hard. I mean, they've got it now, and they know where it came from and how he got it and all that good stuff. But
has Mason asked to speak to anyone in the family? Has he apologized? Anything?
I don't think so. No.
Really?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not up on their family. I just know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Media said it occurred around approximately 9, and he called it 911 at 10:30.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There was a big gap. He gave him time to die.
See, that's the thing, though. Like, Jay, I'm not ignoring you. That's the big thing, though, is that he consciously did not call immediately and say, "Look what I just did." He never did that. He cleaned up. He consciously thought, okay, now what? Now I gotta hide the gun. I gotta throw the gun. I gotta call the girlfriend telling you I'm probably never gonna see you again. Like, he was conscious about it. It wasn't. That's what I'm thinking, Huckleberry. That is evil. Hey, Marianne, that's not like someone, oh my God, what the fuck did I just do? And now I'm fucked. Oh my God, 911, I just killed my entire family. And then, do something like that. Like, I don't know, Letha, that's a bit more than shock. I mean, once you kill the first one, second one, now you got 3 more. But then
I agree with you on the fact that, yeah, he's got a problem with his parents or something. I can understand. The kids is what makes me think that he was done with whatever life he had. I guess I just makes me not look at 14-year-olds the same.
Yeah, right. Ain't that the truth? He did make up a story at first, Monkey. He said someone came in, or no, that he heard gunshots. And he was down in the basement and he, heard gunshots and he came upstairs. But hey, Liz, this is technically after he already cleaned everything up. He cleaned up the site. He cleaned himself up.
I mean, I don't agree with that. If he heard shots down there and then come upstairs, he wouldn't be anywhere to tell him anything, because somebody in there intending to take them all out, they would have got him too.
Okay. Is there anyone local that's stating he didn't do it, or we know who really did it, or like, because, all right, no. Being in Madison, and we know that we all have 100 churches on every street, and from what I saw, like, everybody was really supportive of him, and I know that that's a church-going thing in the towns that we live in. I get that. But to me, I mean, Elkmont, one thing I was surprised about Elkmont, as small as it is, there's a lot of money there. Like these houses were nice. Like I think it's comparable to Madison as far as money goes. I mean, of course you have some of your little areas, but they look like there was some big money there. Like I kept it landing on driveways of these like huge houses.
Yeah, at the
So
end of the road there, that's all one. I mean, that whole road's drenched in history. Like if you go to that area, that
is
the
there?
Civil War happened there, Sulphur Creek, and those kind of things. Um, that's what the end of the road was. It was a fort down there, actually.
Oh no shit.
Uh, yeah, that big driveway you were coming
Yeah,
down.
I went up and
That's
down
what.
twice.
Yeah,
Because at first I'm like, what the hell is this? And I started going
yeah,
up, and then I landed this big, beautiful house. I was like, wow, this is nice. Then I went back down. I'm like, I'm going to take you guys up there again. Went up there again, and a lot of roads ended up on a house. I was like, I have a feeling it's going to be somebody's driveway again. And sure enough, it was. I was like, this is so weird.
yeah,
Um, oh no, but Mandy, a lot of the area, there's a lot of nice houses in the area, and not
yeah.
just one or
Not just
two.
that road. They're all over. I mean, there's a lot
Exactly.
of yeah.
There's a lot of same thing with Madison. You would never know, like Alabama, we have one of the highest net income per capita in the entire country. We're higher than Beverly Hills. We're higher than New York City. Like there's big, big money here, but you wouldn't actually know it. But if you look it up, it is. And I think
Yeah,
Elkmont, people
you
think
got to
it.
think we've got several different programs in Huntsville that power almost every type of industry all over the United
Yep,
States.
it's very true. It's crazy. It actually Almont was a beautiful. I was expecting it to be like the ghetto of Huntsville. I really was. I wasn't expecting it to be nice. And even when you see that house, it's all the way set back, and the way the news had it, it kind of looked like a trailer. So that's what I was
Well, it's not.
expecting. I know, but I'm saying that's what I was expecting. And only when I spoke to your grandfather down on the driveway could I actually see it. From the road, you couldn't really see it. Um, so another thing I wanted to ask you too is old money here because generate. That's how it is here. That's what I was saying, Mandy. I know I forgot what I was gonna
Hey,
say.
hold on, Trigger Happy. Who are you?
Trigger Happy's one of my peeps.
Yeah, I know, but they know a lot.
Trigger Happy, who are you? I know they've
Just the
been
first
around.
name's fine. I can figure it out.
All right, figure it out. I'd like to know.
Hmm.
They've been around a long. They've been with me a long time though.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, so if you guys are just getting here, Aaron is the owner of the house that the murder took place in. His family is very, very big in the area, and um, he's coming here to talk to us because the news completely gets everything wrong. A couple of his friends or family members had given him links to my videos because I was covering this case. I met him earlier, thought he was a troll, called him on the phone, and we actually spoke for a couple of minutes, and he agreed to come on and kind of, dismantle what the news is saying. So here we are. Um, there was another question I meant to ask you.
Okay, that's fair, Cinnamon. Yeah, he could have went to Google Street View. That's I didn't think about that, to be honest.
um, all right? Is there anything the news got right?
Their names, they're dead.
Fair enough. Um,
They want story and they want to keep covering it. I think 19 was by far the worst because they wouldn't leave, and when they did leave, they went downtown and they stayed downtown. Then they would come back and they would knock on everybody's door. Like almost everybody on the road had messaged me and said they won't go away. They're coming back. They keep knocking on their doors. I mean, they sat there and filmed the house for hours. I don't know if they thought it was going to do a flip or what. Um,
wow.
it's kind of got old.
See, and I saw some guys hanging outside yesterday, and I was going to stop and talk to them. And then, I don't know, it was like when I first got there and I got a little nervous, and I was like, maybe I'll just wait. and then I broke it like my nerves with your grandfather. But I was
Yeah.
gonna go there Wednesday, and then I'm like, you know what? Every single media outlet and site is gonna be here, so maybe I'll just wait till the weekend. And I am glad I waited, especially with what you're telling me, because even your grandfather didn't want to talk to me at first, you know. And like, I had my camera on in my purse, but when he was reluctant to talk to me, I'm like, okay, I can't exactly break out the camera, so I'm just gonna like talk to him one on
Yeah.
one. And
And
so
so
yeah.
that's fine. I mean, consent in this state is one person knows that somebody's recording, then it's fine. I understand.
And I didn't want to be like I wanted to show him, and but I got the feeling from him, the media, it just, when he finally did open up to me and told me that this, the whole media, like, they twist everything and this kid wasn't like that, and so on and so forth. So it was interesting, like, how he did open up after a while.
Okay, I keep seeing the stepmom wasn't his biological mother. No, she was not.
His biological mom died in 2011. John, the father, asked the courts for sole custody. Mason hadn't seen his biological mom, since he was 3. From what I understand, she sounds like she was a drug addict, because that's what he wrote on the paperwork for why he wanted full custody. Because mom was not a good mom, and so on and so forth. Him and Mary had been married, I forgot, 6 years maybe?
I
Seven
think it was
years?
longer than that, but
I'm sure it
somewhere
was.
abouts. No, we're not related to them. Chat.
Um, no, not related. He owned his grandfather. He grew up in the house that they were killed in. Um, did, he did make a confession. There was no
Yeah.
attorney when he made the confession, though, and that was my biggest gripe. Is he didn't have a lawyer there, and it's been confirmed he didn't have a lawyer there. But Alabama law states he didn't have to have a lawyer. The only thing the cops needed to say is you can have an attorney. They did not have to provide one. And for making a murder of
Um,
people, it's the same thing as Wisconsin. It's the exact same
yeah.
laws.
Laura, no, I did not go to the funeral. I couldn't do it. No.
It was all 5 caskets. The worst part for me was seeing 5 hearses when I pulled up. That was tough.
Yeah, I watched that on the video. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough because you have you normally have one hearse and then some limos to see all 5 hearses. And I think they did it on purpose like this, but I didn't go close enough to the coffins, but all 5 coffins look like the same size. It was almost like they didn't want you to know which one was the kids and which weren't. And I don't know if they did that on purpose, if that's normally how they do it. I've never been to a family with more than one person dead. Um, but I kind of think that's why they had all 5 coffins the same size. Whether they'll be buried like that, probably not. But I can imagine it being really tough looking at a baby's coffin.
I know the answer to that, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, sorry. That's a little intense.
Am
Come
I
on.
along the right wavelength about the coffins being the same size? Or am I
Yeah.
way off?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
It's right.
It was closed caskets, yes.
Yes. Yes. The kid was told that he was adopted, by her. His dad's his dad, but the mom was the stepmom. And that wasn't recent. It was a while back.
Oh, so he didn't just tell them.
No, it wasn't like it happened on the way home from the trip, and that's what set him off or anything. No, he's known it for a while. I don't think he had a problem with it.
Okay, so that rules out another lie. Because a lot of what we know is that um Ziggy, because they probably didn't want anyone to know that was the baby. It was all closed coffin. So this is actually because his name is Aaron. His wife's name is Amy, but we accidentally blocked him under Aaron, so that's why he's in here under Amy.
The truth has a question. Says Were they sleeping? I could imagine if you just come back from a trip, then most likely yes.
2
I
adults, not
mean,
3.
if anybody knew the dad or has ever seen the dad or sees pictures, he's not a small dude.
No, he's not. He's a big dude. Definitely a big dude.
I can do a layout of the house if y'all are interested, and I said I'd field questions. That's a fine one, I guess.
Wait, what was that?
They're asking about the layout of the house. How does it look?
Oh, okay.
Um, you walk in, you got a living room area, and then you got a kitchen. Far right's the garages, and if you go left, you got a hallway, bathroom. Then there's 3 rooms in the back. And then come back towards the kitchen, go down the stairs. There's a whole basement area, and then there's a area down there that could be a room, which I assume that would be Mason's. Because
So,
at first, when he started talking about this whole thing, he said that he heard stuff upstairs, and I thought it was possible because of the way that the rooms are above his room. I mean, he would have heard something, and if anybody looked down there, they wouldn't have seen anybody, but it's so far back there,
okay.
in the basement. So, I mean, I gave him the benefit of the doubt at first, but after hearing, official stuff, then no, I don't doubt it.
Now, I'm going to ask you something on a personal level.
Sure.
Do you think, after knowing what you know, because I kind of have a different opinion now. Like, for example, let me give you a little background. For example, you telling me and us, because we did not know this, that they didn't spring it on him on the way home from Florida that his mom wasn't his real mom and that he actually knew for a long time, really changes everything. It changes the dynamics of the case as we know it. So,
yeah, because it could possibly make it premeditated, is how I feel.
not only premeditated actually comes from the gun, that he stole the gun from his grandma. And the
Yeah.
fact that all right, let me rephrase that. From meeting you today, from everything you told me, I think he should be tried as an adult. And up until meeting you, I always thought, he should be tried as a juvenile. He may have just snapped. But everything that you're saying that the news told us, like the gun, we thought he got from his dad, an illegal gun. We thought that that they told him this on the way home from Florida. Things like that. And I sit there and I think, if this kid, between cleaning himself up, calling his girlfriend, driving around, getting rid of the gun, lying to police, already knew that his mom was a stepmom and known for a long time, and he stole the gun, to me, he knows what the fuck he's doing.
It's pretty damning, yes.
I mean, that to me that's pretty harsh. Like, there's a lot of things you said that I didn't know, and I'm glad you told me.
Again, that's why I'm here. I just wanted to get it. It helps to talk about it too, but it clears it up because there's so much that the news does with facts and they twist them. And like someone said earlier, they're going to make this about gun control.
It's not going to work in Alabama
again because they're going to keep on about the gun control.
It's not going to work in Alabama. That's what I was saying. That they could talk from now until doomsday. Alabama's not giving up their guns. It's not.
I'm pretty sure they'll run out of breath before they take everybody's
exactly.
guns.
It's very true, especially here. Like,
not everybody's deranged. They don't. Not everybody runs out and fires into the air like it's the Wild West. It's not a backtown hick place. It's the world hadn't reached it, but guess what? It's there now.
Exactly.
I don't think we've had that many people on that road in like the last 50 years.
I believe that. Because even when I went over to Dollar General and I was talking to somebody in the car, someone that was standing outside smoking, I struck up a conversation with them, and she didn't know, she just moved here. But I was trying to get back to Ridge Road, and I couldn't find it. I was like, this town is not this big. I don't know why I can't find it. And I was just kind of driving. Are there any bars in that town? I was looking for a bar. I couldn't find one.
Okay, so everywhere around here was dry up until like 3 years ago.
Okay.
Like we had nothing. You have to go towards Ardmore or go back into Madison.
Okay. So I wasn't crazy. Like, I ended up in Athens, but I was like, there has to be a bar here. It has to be. And I found
No,
that caboose place, the red caboose. And I
yeah,
went in there to use the restroom, and I was like, it just looked like mom was cooking dinner. And I was like,
yeah. That's what it is. It's just folks that get in from work want to go down there and get something to eat. Because I don't like driving all the way to Athens or Huntsville to get something all the time.
I hear you.
It's not bad. We have Belchev. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there. No bars in my town either. Marion County. Yeah, I don't know. We don't have a lottery either.
Yeah, I
I
noticed
don't
that.
know.
I was
They
like,
said the crime rate's going to go up if we get it. I don't think one thing dictates what people do.
that's true. Were the two younger siblings buried together? The burial was private, Dreamer.
Yeah, it was private. I've said before I'm not going to answer
Okay.
how they did or why they're doing what they did. Um, One guy had a lot of questions. What's his name? Ziggy?
Ziggy, that's a girl.
Oh, okay, all right. Ziggy. The house will be demolished. I don't know. It's up in the air on that. That's not my decision. My vote is torture
I don't
because
agree.
I
I
can't
agree.
think of the first time I learned to ride a bike without worrying about what those kids just went through. I can't think about Christmas down there or my sister being born. I can't think of any of that stuff. That's how it's affecting us.
Wow, I'm sorry.
I don't. It's a house is a house, but now it's like it's negated that stuff in a sense.
You just gave me
And it's not going to
goosebumps.
go away. If we leave it there, it's going to be the Sisk murder house, or it's going to be people's going to want to rent it. Matter of fact, people have already tried to rent it.
Are you serious?
Yes, they have. They have already come up and totally insensitive to the fact of what just happened, and asked, "Is it
Wow.
going to be for rent?" You
Wow.
know.
Does it bother you? I mean, because totally respect you if you tell me it does. Does it bother you that I call it a murder house?
No, I mean, like I
Okay.
said, I watch that stuff on TV, and
Okay.
I like this same thing. I want to know the truth about what happened. It's not a problem, but it's gonna be. I'm sure they're already calling it that. If I'm not mistaken, I
Wow.
think I've already heard it called the Sis Murder House already. So
Wow. I actually call it the murder house just because of
I mean, that's what it is.
um,
It is now.
American Horror Show. That
Okay, that's
series one
fair.
was called The
Even
Murder
that.
House. That's where I got it from. But if you felt it was disrespectful, because I understand that. I mean, I grew up in New York, and the house I grew up in that I spent from age 10 up, it's a lot of memories, and I couldn't even imagine if something horrific happened in there. Like, it does. It ruins every memory you've ever had because that's all you think about, and you can't go back in there. You can't. It's.
Right.
I can only imagine.
Yes, it totally negates anything. And Jewel, I'm reading the live chat. I'm not reading
That's
the
fine.
pop-ups. Honestly, I don't know of anybody that want to live there, but there are people that do EVPs and run around with spirit boxes and stuff because of the Civil War. So I'm sure they want to get in there, and that's all I was really worried about today. I don't care if you video and go around and interview people and all that stuff. I was worried about you going onto the property because they've already threatened to press charges against several people, and I just wanted to catch it before it happened. Because
And
if
I
you
really
end up going
appreciate
down there,
that.
they probably still will. So.
I really appreciate that. Because there was a point that I was like, maybe I should just run up to the door.
Yeah,
And everyone's like, don't do it, don't do it. My mods are like, hell no, Laura, don't do it. And I'm
I'm gonna
like,
have to agree with them. You don't want to go in there.
and I was like, I'm gonna get arrested. I was like, I can't do it. I'll end up getting arrested. I said, then what? Then you guys have to bail me out of jail. So
You have to set up a Patreon for that.
I have Patreon, but yeah, my patrons are like, nice. So now she's in jail. No, but
I don't know. It's up to my granddad and my dad and what happens with it. But I already told them my vote was simply bulldoze, burn it,
I don't
Because if it
blame
just
you.
sets down there, then it's going to get the whole stigma that it's haunted and all that, what comes with the territory of murders or land that has that kind of issue.
That's true. Did you
Yeah,
get
yes,
once
my
you went?
grandparents did build it. They built the house, yes.
Did you get a creepy feeling when you went in there?
I haven't went back to it
Oh,
yet.
you haven't?
No.
All right.
I've just had first responders that I talked to, and they told me don't.
Is
Holes cut in the wall by investigators and just stuff strewn everywhere, and
why did they
they
cut
they
holes in the
didn't
wall?
they were not delicate at all.
Why would they cut holes in the wall? What were they looking for?
Honestly, I don't know. The only thing I could think of is maybe bullet lodged in the
Oh,
wall or something.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, or I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, physical evidence.
So the kid still hasn't spoken to anyone or even asked?
Not that I know. That's all private stuff. I'm not keeping up with that, honestly. At this
Wow.
point, I feel like he did it, and that's just what it is.
I hear you. And how is, like, when I was at the funeral today, there were not too many tears other than immediate family, a lot of older family, because I'm assuming that's who's left. Um, the girl that I had reached out to, Daisy or whatever, who said she's the first cousin, I had reached out to her on Facebook before she went on the news. Then I saw her on the news, but everyone, including your grandfather, told me she was full of shit. Is that
She
like
is.
they really don't know, or they just wanted their 15 minutes of fame?
That it's the 15 minutes fame thing. I don't ever even remember seeing her a single time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fairly often up and down that road and in that area and around those people. I mean, I don't know. She was just saying stuff, I think.
Okay. Because one of his high school friends had left me a comment on Facebook, I mean, on YouTube, stating that, and he's a minor, so I don't want to give his name publicly, but he had left a comment and he said that the whole thing that she said about breaking into a school was complete nonsense. He didn't break into the school was open, and there's no reason for her to even say that it was that he broke in and he vandalized it because it was all when school was open and he did a couple things in the band room or something. Like, and that was like a totally different story.
I mean, that don't kids doing stuff on the stall in the bathroom doesn't make somebody a murderer or show warning signs like she carried on about.
I agree.
I'm torn between he decided to do this a while back and did it, or it was something to do with maybe a psychological problem. I can't say for sure, and I'm sure it'll come out in the case. It'll be a hot topic in the case.
Did his girlfriend say anything, or she's been pretty hush hush?
I didn't even know he had one until I,
Okay.
heard that information. I mean, when I was 14, I wasn't worried about impressing a girl.
Oh, mine are. I have two
I,
14
I
year
was
olds
I
that
was gonna
are.
say I was worried about Pokemon and Batman and stuff. I didn't care.
I have a son that's very into his girlfriend for a year and a half, and a daughter who's very date happy. So yeah, it definitely does happen. But she hasn't come
Well, I mean, it's
forward
a
at all.
different time now.
Wow, you look young. You look like you're only like 20 something.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were like 25.
Nope.
Wow. All right, 30s?
Yep.
All right.
Good genes.
um
Yes, Pokemon Go.
where the well, they Gina, he was in his house. He called 911 and said that somebody killed my family. Um and then it turns out that he later confessed due to inconsistencies in the story.
I
But
mean, he's 14. He didn't think this all the way through.
no, definitely not.
Georgia, I don't think it's true that he burned animals. We're not missing any. None of the animals that they owned are missing. None of ours are. I don't think that's true.
Okay. And to be honest with you, I haven't I haven't heard one person confirm that at all. Not a friend, not family, not you, not at the funeral today, not your grandfather.
I'm
Nobody's
not
been
going
able
to
to
go down there
confirm
and
it.
look for dead cats or
I
anything,
don't
but
blame
I'm
you.
99% sure that that's not true.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. I haven't been able to find one person to confirm it. And something like that, you might tell your friends. And that's why I think the kid that wrote me would have said something. Like, he would have
Yeah.
known. It wasn't the media that put it out there, Jewel. It was his first cousin that put it out there. This girl Daisy that called into the news report. The,
Okay, well, if that's true and she knows something like that, then maybe she was with him. That's the only way that's
she
going to
lives in
be confirmed.
Indiana. She
Do
said
I?
that she barely even spoke. She lives in Indiana.
Well, then she has no idea, to be honest.
There were animals in the house, Nadia.
And they're fine.
What happened to the animals?
I'm not sure who took them. I know that the families came to do the stuff for the funeral today. Now, yes, there are lots of woods behind the house. There's walking trail that runs all the way through to Athens. There's areas all around the house. It's possible.
I cried over a
I
little
mean,
wiener
it's
dog.
probable. No, I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I watched the murder stuff before. You have people that kill animals usually move on to something.
But they usually kill them as little tots. They start killing them at 4 and 5. They don't start at 14 or even
Well,
13.
then I wouldn't know because, like I said, they've only been there for 4 years.
Yeah, see, Gina,
Maybe a
that's what I'm
little
saying.
longer.
It got to a lot of people, but this cousin lives in another state. She wouldn't have been there. She claims that, the parents told her this. But she also said that the kid broke into a school and vandalized the whole thing, which was completely bullshit.
That's not even that's not even come up once.
Okay.
I have kids that go to that school, and there's not even been a mention of that. So
Okay. So yeah, it was the first cousin that made that up. So once you tell a lie like that, the burning animal's probably a lie too.
yeah, the school's not a thing. I mean, I could go to the school right now and see, but I don't think. No, Jewel, we're not going to clean it up. If you're interested in how that works, the insurance goes in and they do it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's when you rent or own and something like this happens. I mean, clearly no one's left to be liable for it, so it would be the insurance to pick up on that. But that's only in the event that we even decide to keep it.
Okay. Oh, so there's still blood everywhere and everything. Nobody's coming to clean it up. That's rough. What about drug experimentation?
Susie wants to know about drugs. Could he have been trying out drugs? I don't think there's not this drug scene here. If you want drugs, I think it's Huntsville is where you go.
Hey now.
Hey, that's fair. It's fair.
Athens
I didn't
has
say
meth.
Maston, I said Huntsville.
Athens has meth.
Probably.
No,
I mean, we're not in a good track record right now. I mean, you got the sheriff and all of that mess. So yeah, no, it's not going too good here.
One thing I found interesting when I was driving around yesterday, especially on Ridge Road, every single house had their door wide open. You don't find that here. And
Well, it's not now. They're not now.
No, I did yesterday. Everyone on Ridge Road had their doors wide open. I was like,
oh, really?
Wow, yeah. And it was like 6 o'clock, so it was dusk, so you could see that they had lights on inside. Every single one of them, doors wide open. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I don't think a 14-year-old can afford meth. And no, there's no sexual abuse talk or anything like that.
That was the other thing. Was there any abuse that you know of?
No, Lord, no.
Okay.
I'm telling you, that guy was not like that anymore. He wasn't the way he was. I mean, everybody when they're younger does things. Everybody's got something they did stupid or
Absolutely.
continue to do stupid. But
Mm-hmm.
the dad had totally changed perspectives on the way that he lived, and he was not like the way that the news is making him seem.
Hmm.
I mean, like they're digging real hard, and they've only come up with two things so far. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
It's not like with Trump where they're like, he did this and he did that and his company's this and he had these bankruptcies and this, that, and the other. It's just like two things.
I totally agree. Um, Speaking of the dad, that's the one thing that you did hear is that from locals that dad was changing his life around. But you're saying he had already done that. He had already changed it around.
Yeah, well, I mean, like we don't personally know him, but we know enough, and it's like he was not he wasn't like one of these bikers that run around and like terrorize bars and sell drugs and stuff like that. He's
Okay.
just like any other group of people, like the respectful folks that do the Trail of Tears and stuff. He didn't owe money to bikers. He wasn't
Okay.
a rogue outlaw.
Okay.
It wasn't some crazy thing like that. It was just a normal guy who enjoyed motorcycles.
Okay. Yeah, there were a lot of different motorcycle clubs there today. They were all like a lot of tears, a lot of, stay strong, but you can see it within them. Like it really affected a lot of them. So I don't, from all different areas.
If they didn't like him, they wouldn't have been there.
That's true. No, there were a lot of them there from a lot of different places. And I'll never forget this. For some reason, this is gonna stick with me. Is there was a guy, a big motorcycle guy with two kids and a wife standing right next to me. And I guess the older son, he was taller. So the taller son was like crying in his arms. And I'm sitting in a pew and he's like standing right there. And, a kid's like almost in tears. And he's like, Dad, I just don't know why this happened or how this happened. And his dad's holding him. I mean, you're talking a big ass brawly biker guy and he's just holding him. He's like, I know, son, it's horrendous, it's horrible, and we'll get through this. And I just started crying, and I was like, you don't see that often, where just a dad and a son in that moment, and it was like right next to me, and it was sweet. I don't think I'll ever forget that. Um, No, Gina, we already covered that. He knew that his stepmom wasn't his mom for a long time. This wasn't popped on him recently. That's a
Yeah,
news
when I
twist.
say a long time, 7, 8 months, I mean,
Yeah,
plenty of time to get over something like that.
absolutely. But yeah, the
I mean,
news.
especially if she treats him as well as she did, and all those kids. It wasn't a situation of if he goes to court and lies and says something like that, it's not true. It can't be, in my opinion. But I don't know what lawyers are going to do, what they're going to cook up, because how it works in cases.
Has anyone tried to see him? Like any family members try to reach out to him, ask him questions, or you don't know?
Maybe the grandma. I'm not sure on that.
Okay.
I would assume since she's here and would. I don't think anybody would drive down from Indiana and ask questions. I mean,
It's
nobody knows where he's at.
Yeah, I was just gonna. That was my next question. I've heard everything from Tennessee to Madison to Florence. The dad,
Yeah, Nasty. Apparently, that he did have burglary charges.
but they were from Indiana. They were not
Yeah,
from Alabama. Since he's lived in Alabama, he's had nothing.
no problems whatsoever. There
Mm.
was no. I'll get you later on the rent or anything. It's not. It wasn't like that, and that's what my granddad was going back to with the media. He's not interested in them twisting what he says.
Hmm.
That's why he's not talking to them. And I've dealt with media several times, so I'm not. I'm careful about what I'm saying, but I don't mind answering the questions. I really don't.
Absolutely, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Now, do you think? Let's say he does get tried as a juvenile. Do you think that the town will know updates faster than general public? Because, like, his arraignment, I had no idea his arraignment was the other day because it was closed. I learned that from your grandfather.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna know. We're gonna know because we're at ground zero. You know.
And then you're going to tell me because you are my friend?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because that's the one thing. Like, it sucks. It's good for him if he's tried as a juvenile, but it's like, I don't know. It's to me
Honestly,
it's too much.
I don't think. I think he should be tried as an adult. That's just me. It's my opinion on that.
After learning everything I learned today, I actually agree with that. I think he should be tried as an adult.
I mean, I'm not going to give any more like names, but I do know someone personally that I've talked to today before we did this, just to go back over a few of these things to make sure that I'm as accurate as can be. They did say that he was unstable and he was on medicine, so I can tell you that for a fact.
Okay, they just don't know what kind.
He did have some kind of issues, but like I said, his mom was more than well equipped to deal with them. I don't think she ever thought he was going to come in there and do that.
Okay. Julian,
I think he should be tried as an adult because he murdered innocent children when he was angry or set off at his parents for whatever.
See, I think it's because the reason why I think he should be tried as an adult is because he stole the gun previously from his grandmother, which we didn't know that until today. He also...
That's not going to come up in the news anytime soon, I'm sure, until trial, but that's an absolute fact. It was stolen. The grandma stated it was stolen, and if the dad didn't have it... I mean, there's two situations here. Either the dad had it and the son knew where it was, or the son had it and the dad didn't know it was there. And I'm leaning way towards the dad didn't know it was there, because if he has issues and the family was dealing with him having psychological issues, I think the last thing that they're going to want to have in the house is a gun, especially since the dad did have the charges in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my outlook on it. I think it's all the son. I know they're not saying his name because of his age, but they're going to try him as an adult skit. They're going to say it, you know.
See, but my thing, and I keep going back to this, is what you told me today is that he cleaned it up, which I knew he had to have, but I didn't know the details. He cleaned it up. He called his girlfriend. He cleaned the area. He drove around. He got rid of the gun, and then came home and called 911, probably because he was looking at, blood everywhere and probably started to smell. His dad stayed alive for almost 2 hours. He probably left, this is speculating, but he probably left the house knowing his dad was alive. And he wanted his dad to die. He didn't want his dad to be alive. And same thing with the kid, the little brother. It was the little brother you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And the little brother. And the fact that the father could be taken out and he was so big, and for this kid to have such a good shot, I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like that's more than enough evidence to try somebody as an adult. If he would have called 911 immediately and said, oh my God, what the fuck did I just do? That's a different story. That's something that, oh my God, this kid just panicked and realized what he did. But he was too premeditated. Unless he was on like some serious dope, that's...
Well, I mean, you got to remember they just came back from this trip. Unless the whole family was smoking it in the car, I don't think he was secretly doing it. And
okay. I agree.
Yeah, the dad was a big guy. I don't know. A lot of people keep asking what order or that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew the dad was alive. I think, or I am thinking that he thought they were all gone, and yeah, he could have practiced shooting. Like I said, it's an expansive area. I mean, it's not abnormal to hear shots out here because people hunt, people kill unwanted pests and stuff like that. It's a normal thing. It would be abnormal to hear it in Madison near Walmart, but not out here. I mean, there's lots of people own lots of land, hundreds of acres and stuff. So.
See, but that's
It's
what I
possible
asked.
that he practiced shooting. His dad may have taught him how. I don't know.
That's what I asked your grandfather was, did anyone hear shots? Did it just seems odd to me that but I was thinking that it was multiple rounds. I didn't realize that he shot every single one of them with one shot. That's crazy to me. And the fact that he killed all of them, like there's a lot of people that shoot people in the head that don't die. Or the fact that he knew exactly where to shoot each person in the head to the point that they died. I mean, I could see
Yeah.
the kids being different, but John was what, 350 pounds, if not more. The fact that he
Yeah,
knew
he was.
exactly where to
He
shoot
did.
them. That's
I
well,
don't know. I mean, until they go through computer history and stuff like that. I mean, for all I know, he could have been. He could have wrote the book on it. I don't know.
that's true.
I just don't expect 14-year-olds to. I mean, there's not very many cases where children have done something like this.
Brian, for anyone, Brian, I don't think there was a silencer. The way the
No.
house is set, it's all the way back from the road, and there's like a field next to it, fields behind it. He told me there were fields behind it. And then the neighbor's house, the one I spoke to, is right there. But they could have been out. If they weren't home, the neighbor on the other side wouldn't have heard it. They would have absolutely
Right.
not heard it. It's that far away. And maybe when I was driving, it didn't look that far away, but there's like a huge field, probably 2 acres in between. And that house is up towards the front of the street where their house is all the way set in the back.
So, truth. My grandparents didn't even know anything was going on until the police had already completely surrounded the house.
Oh, wow.
So they were asleep because you can't hear anything. And there wasn't a suppressor. The 14-year-old didn't know military tactics. He didn't use pillows or any of those kind of things. Um, Possible he didn't have remorse. I can't answer those questions. I don't know those answers.
Don't forget, it was Memorial Day. People have
Yeah.
fireworks. People
That's
have.
that's yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, no, not everybody's driving around shooting guns out of cars and stuff like that. But yes, people do shoot out here on their property and get permission to do so. They hunt. No, we don't eat raccoons and those kind of things, since that's the stereotype for Alabama for some reason. Um,
Did it say that? Because someone brought up a good point. How did the other people not hear? But he would have tried to go after his dad first because he's the biggest, right?
I thought about that the other day, and I don't know. I mean, maybe the parents. I mean, if he's older than the other ones, I'm sure he can overpower his 8-year-old brother, and then the other two would not be an issue. I don't guess.
Did they say at all um, where the kids were found?
No.
Hmm. Because that's what I'm wondering about. Were the kids found underneath a bed? Were the kids found in their bed like they were sleeping? Were the kids found? I mean, obviously.
They were. It was a normal.
Oh,
It
it
was a
was?
normal Monday night.
Okay.
They were asleep like normal.
Wow.
No. Hold on. Let's see that question.
10:30 is when he
Grandparents are
called
older. No, my
911.
grandparents aren't hard of hearing. They were just asleep. um, let's see.
You gotta
Yeah,
understand.
the kids may have tried to hide from him. I don't know.
You
I didn't
guys.
ask those kind of things. I was only worried about getting onto the road because I have family on that road, and all we saw was a gunman was in Elkmont on that road shooting people.
I gotcha.
So I just wanted to see if my grandparents and parents and neighbors that I've known for, 20, 25 years, were okay.
Because Brian, Brian, can you unblock misbehaving? But Brian, the thing is too, though, he could have taken both parents out in one shot. Boom, boom, done. And then the kids, we're still kids. Kids are going to, I mean, one is a 6 month old. They're not going to care. And then you have the 5 and a 6 year old who may have been scared, but gunshots are pretty common there. Like, I'll hear gunshots here or fireworks. It's Labor Day. They may thought it was fireworks. The
Yeah,
house.
I mean but odds are everybody was tired from the trip, and like you said, the parents, and then maybe then it's all speculation. I don't know until the court thing goes on, where it's going to be held. If they do it here, everybody's going to be biased.
That's true, too. I don't know. It seems he has a lot of support.
Well, I mean, you got it. He's 14 and he's fixing to go to jail forever,
That's
most
true.
likely.
And he should, really.
Yeah, I agree with that. Some people, in my area may not, but I feel like there's enough reasonable doubt there for me to go, hey, it doesn't seem like an accident, or yeah, medication may have set him off, because I get mad at my parents, but I've never once thought about something like that.
I agree. See, the thing for me is, it's like, it's such a black or white issue, because he either is going to get tried as an adult and go away for the rest of his life and never see daylight again, or he's going to be out by the time he's 21, free and clear. That's night and day. If he's tried as a juvenile, he can't do any more than 21.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, I could see doing 15 or 20 years, tried as a juvenile, but tried as an adult, they're going to put him away for life. But I just don't know how they're going to justify a 6-month-old,
That's my problem. It don't set right with me. How are me and my kids coping with this? Well, honestly, my son doesn't know. I made sure the whole week to, anything going on at school, anything weird y'all talked about, and it's never come up. He doesn't notice in the other classes that one of them's missing or anything like that, because they just started the school year.
Oh, that's right. Your kid is about the same age, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your kid's...
That's the youngest, yeah.
6, yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Hey,
I mean,
Vinny
somebody said earlier that he could have went up to the school, and I don't think they would have stopped me from going up there, or a lot of people, honestly.
So what were people thinking when it first happened and you didn't know if it was a murder or not?
Well, when it first happened, they didn't know if he was still on the road, if it was an adult, if it was multiple people. They didn't know, because they didn't know where he was, because he was missing. Still 4 years. They've been tenants for 4 years. It was kind of chaos. And like I said, they blocked off the road, and I don't even think they should have done that, because, what if we wanted to leave?
That's true. But wasn't he sitting at his house when he called 911?
Well, he went back there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember, he drove around, and it's been seen on camera downtown where he was just driving around.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So that's something we didn't know either. So he was seen on camera driving. So someone taught him how to drive. My kids wouldn't know how to drive.
He rode 4-wheelers a lot, so it's not too much different. You got gas, you got a brake, and you steer it.
Wow. No, he says to me he left long before the 911 call.
Yeah, there was a huge gap between when they were most likely shot and the 911 call, yes.
And he cleaned himself up. He called his girlfriend.
Somewhere.
Yeah, he took a shower. He got rid of the clothes. Did they ever find the clothes?
I don't know that one.
Okay. Was he looking relaxed, chill out when he was caught on camera?
I don't think so. I didn't see the footage for myself, but it's still bad enough that he did this and then is driving around. What was he doing? Driving around thinking about what he was going to say when he called him?
Or getting rid of clothes, or just driving around like, what the fuck did I just do?
Oh, you know what? That's a good thought, actually. He might have gotten rid of
Yeah,
the clothes.
I think so. Because, I mean, you kill that close range in the head, you're going to have blood on you.
That's what my question was. Like, did he have anything on him? Was he clean? I mean, what's going on? They did a gunpowder test on him, and it's all over.
Okay.
Yes.
So they did do a gunpowder test. All right. See, the thing is that I say about the clothes is, again, I get, up until I got all my stuff from the media, but
Yeah.
they said that they brought him in because of inconsistencies in his story, not because they saw blood on his shoes or blood on his clothes. So that's why
Right.
I say he had to have gotten rid of the clothes.
I mean, that's why I'm saying just go on, and if he's mentally sound and the medication didn't play a large part in this and inhibit him, because it can types of medications that are psychedelic in nature. If you look back at a lot of the stuff that's happened recently, like Las Vegas and these school shootings, a lot of these kids were on this kind of medication, and this is the result, possibly, of that medication.
See, the reason why, so a couple of people saying psychosis. The reason why I don't buy that is because, as far as Aaron knows, and as far as I've read, and even speaking with his grandfather, he hasn't tried to reach out to anybody. Nobody spoke to him yet. If he was in a psychosis, he would have reached out to somebody. He would have said
Well,
sorry.
I mean, there's no one for him to call now. I mean, he had nowhere to go. When he was driving around, he had nowhere to go.
What about his girlfriend?
I mean, that's true, but I mean, I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to take somebody covered in blood that's 14 driving a car at night in a small town.
That's true, too.
You usually don't let those kind of people in.
So he did this after learning... No, Beth, that was
No.
a misconception. He's known for about 8 months that his mom wasn't his... that his stepmom wasn't his mom. Not Mason. We're talking about the Medicaid... Oh.
I don't know the medication. I'm not a pharmacist.
Yeah, they're on this whole conversation about Seroquel, but we don't even know if it was Seroquel he was on.
Again, that's speculation. Who knows?
I grew up out in the country, learned to drive when I was 12. He was too cool for psychosis. Sounds I think it is. I'm with you, Becky.
I do too.
I do think it was premeditated. I don't know if the kids were premeditated, but to me, it definitely sounds premeditated.
I don't know. In that situation, I don't know what they could have done to him to cause that, and that's the only drawback I have with this whole situation. Is why would something escalate to this point when he's never shown any kind of sign of that? But again, talking to a person today, I'm not going to say a loner, but no, he wasn't, valedictorian or anything like that. I mean,
Okay.
You've always got people that kind of stay off to themselves. I don't think that he was, I don't know, goth or whatever you want to call it, or any of that kind of stuff. I think that he just, I guess, kept to himself and made friends just how kids normally would. I mean, they're 14. There's not a lot of problems going on with 14-year-olds usually.
Dating.
Yeah, dating. That's fair. But I mean, if that was an issue, then the girlfriend would be one of the people they were married today, don't you think?
See, that's what I was the person you spoke to today, it's another thing I was going to ask you, which you may or may not know. If you're going through a psychosis or you're having some real mental issues, to me, and this is just my opinion, why kill your only family unit? Why not blow up a school? Why not, kill someone that's bullying you? Like, why kill your entire family and then have nothing? Like, absolutely no one to turn to. That's, to me, a whole different kind of psychopath. Like, that's a whole different...
There could have been an issue with the dad and the son. I mean, I'm not sure about that, but maybe the dad's history caused a problem that the son thought that they couldn't get out of, and maybe he was planning on taking his own life as well. I don't know. Maybe he maybe he called the girlfriend and said, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and she talked him out of it. I don't know.
Do you have any recent pictures of Mason? Because the only thing that we've been able to find is like 6 years old, and nothing recent.
No, and if I did, I don't think that's real fair. I'm sure they're going to be plastered all over the newspapers soon.
Okay. So now some people are saying that he could be so psychologically messed up from learning that his mom wasn't his real mom, but I'm not buying that. I'm just not.
Why would you, even if she wasn't and she's taken care of him since he was super young, what would flip a switch in his head to say, well, she's not my mom, I'm just going to kill her?
I mean, his mom, it's not like his biological mom is still alive and can step in and be mom. She's dead. She died years ago. So even if the stepmom wasn't the stepmom, it doesn't matter. The real mom's dead. So that's why I'm not buying that. I'm just not buying that theory because of that reasoning. But it's not Okolancy when the other mom is dead. The biological mom's dead. To me, it doesn't matter. She's dead.
187. Did she show him love or treat him different? I can't answer that. I don't know. I just really don't feel like that she did. I mean, he didn't get left at home when they went on vacation. You know, he went. I mean, he had stuff just like everybody else did. You know, like I said, he rode a 4-wheeler all the time. I mean, you don't treat a kid differently by giving them something that's that expensive.
I agree.
Yes, psychotic episodes, you sometimes can't remember what you're doing. Sandra, I agree. Nobody knows what really goes on behind closed doors. That's fair. For all I know, he could have got beaten every day when he came home from school. I don't know that. It's not an answer I can give.
Traveling
and at this point, with him lying to the police and stuff like that, when he goes to court, people are going to be like, I don't know about that if he says something like that.
That's true.
Because we've got, they have counselors at the school, and he had people to talk to, and, you know, he was around other kids and played on the road with other kids. So nobody said, you know, that kid's super weird or he can't be around my kids. Now, after he did find out about his mom, he did become standoffish and a little different, aggressive, or whatever you want to call it, but never anything that would say, hey, you know, we need to look at this.
Christina, that doesn't apply in my mind because he killed his brothers and sisters. That would have nothing to do with the girlfriend. This was a family issue. Whatever was going on was a family issue, and I don't think has anything to do with any outside, like, you know, normal dad-son problems, mom-son problem. That's just my opinion. But to take a gun to a 6-month-old, probably because the baby was crying. I
agree with pearls of wisdom. Something triggered.
Mm-hmm.
It's not stepmom.
I agree
at all. I just don't feel like. Yeah, I don't feel like that's the factor. I mean, it could be. It could be what he says was the problem. I don't. It just outside looking in. I don't think so. No.
And the fact that he had, as far as anyone knows, he hasn't tried to reach out to anybody, hasn't apologized to anybody that anyone knows of. That's a problem.
Everybody keeps asking why this happened. Mm-hmm.
Everyone keeps asking you what?
Why?
Oh, nobody knows.
Don't know.
He hasn't said anything yet. Like, nobody knows why he did it.
I mean, he could have just did it because he wanted to. I don't know. I mean, think about people like Jeffrey Dahmer, or, you know, I know he was abused and things like that happened to him when he was younger, and his mom, you know, drugs and things like that. But that's not the environment that he was in. That's like taking two different things and saying they go together. It don't fit. I think it's going to be more about, like I said earlier, medication, psychological issue, something to set him off.
That's crazy. Baby
I
at
mean, he
six
could have been
months.
set off, and the baby crying, like somebody said, could have been the reason the baby's not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the baby crying is why he killed the baby. I mean, besides a 14-year-old, I mean, when you just kill
Blind
people,
rage.
like, that's probably a baby scream is probably like going through your ears and like making your head throb. I could see that's why the baby was shot. Like,
Has anybody here in the chat been in like a car wreck? Like that's a good way to
I have.
have you had that adrenaline before
Mm-hmm.
where something happens like a car wreck or a near miss with, I don't know, you're working outside and something almost hurts you, and you get that adrenaline. I imagine that that's probably what he was going through if he was having some kind of episode. And I don't think he differentiated at all. I think that he just did what he did, and again, he should be tried as an adult because if you got a mental problem, I can understand it, and there needs to be some kind of buffer there. But if he didn't have one, and this was premeditated, and he did this and spent time to clean himself up and then call the police and all that stuff, no, I don't think so. I think he should go till he's, what is it, 18, then be transferred, and I don't know, maybe cap first degree. I don't know.
How Old Blue Eyes wants to know how the town's coping.
No one wants to talk to anybody.
Yeah, I know that.
We don't want the newspapers. We're glad people's come to the restaurants. They've been there a long time. They're all right. I mean, but yeah, a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people don't know anything. You know, like I said, a lot of people knew John and never had issues with John. He was a nice guy. Um, you know, the school was trying to do, I think it was a balloon release the other day. A lot of us didn't want that. We kind of wanted candles instead because, unfortunately, some places do farm and have animals, and it's a bad idea to release tons of balloons. There's a problem with helium right now. I think it's a bad idea to use up all of it for that. Yes, people are being hounded by the press. They're knocking on everybody's doors and trying to catch people as they're leaving and waiting around the stores and restaurants, and they don't stop. And they give hollow apologies. They went up to the school and started trying to interview kids in Mason class, which was totally uncalled for.
He did attend school. He was in ninth grade.
Yes. He attended school, ninth grade, no balloons. Yes, Ziggy, I agree with that. They got back from the trip out on Monday.
Yeah, all these questions have been answered, so I'm going to advise you just watch the stream, the whole stream, when it starts over. There's a lot of studies that... Yeah, but we don't know what meds he was on, so it's kind of hard to say.
If at all. Like I said, that's speculation on my part, but if you have some type of issue, psychological or otherwise, anger or imbalances, they're going to put you on something to work that out. And a lot of those medicines, from what I read, have lots of side effects. One of them is if you don't take them, it can cause extreme depression, anxiety, anger, rage. There's a lot of side effects.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what it does for people is good, but if they run out or the pharmacy's closed, or for example, my speculation, they were on a trip and they ran out, oh, it's only a day or two, it's not going to matter. But there's warning labels all over those bottles and pictures of those bottles that say, hey, you know, don't stop taking this without talking to your doctor. Don't just stop.
Okay.
I sound a bit muffled, sorry.
A couple of last final questions. One is, do you know anything about the killing in Tony?
Oh, no. I mean, I've read about it. I heard about it, but, you know.
Because the
This
reason
is
I
kind of
ask...
in my backyard, you know.
I know, but the reason I ask is one of the news articles that I read was saying that this kid could have got the idea from that killing because it was so fresh and new, and it just happened a week prior, and that, oh, let me kill my family. because the guy didn't have, that other kid was 16, but he didn't have a mom. It was just his dad and his brother, and he tried to kill his whole family. So,
Well, it's not abnormal for copycats to happen.
mhm.
I can think of a case where someone saw insurance fraud before and rigged their whole house up to look like an electrical fire, and they had hired somebody to come in and work on a truck and killed them, and they had the same body build, so they just assumed it was the guy and paid out the money, and it turns out that they got the idea from a movie. So it's not unheard of that it could have been a copycat thing.
That's why I was going to dig more into the other one, but they're also saying that with the other one, it didn't have half the coverage that this one did, and nobody really knows why. Because I wouldn't have even known about it until I read this article connecting the two, that possibly he saw this kid who didn't want to clean his room and he wiped out his family. And I just wonder, because it's so close, you know. So I was going to take a ride out there too and see what I could find.
Yeah.
But they're probably, that town, it's probably going to be the same thing, like hush hush, we're not talking. But I just lost them.
Yes, Georgia, doctors are quick to throw kids on medicine. That's true.
Oh yeah, they are. Feds aren't involved in this. Has nothing to do with feds. It's a local thing.
We've had them out here before, though. Some idiot used a forklift and tried to steal an ATM from the bank.
No shit.
Yeah, I don't know. The FBI was everywhere. It was awful. I mean, that's funny because they didn't get away with it, but
that is funny.
I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, people do stupid stuff around here. They break into the Piggly Wiggly and steal cigarettes and stuff. I mean, you came through here. We got a Piggly Wiggly and a dollar store. I'm like, that's the mall.
Okay. Crazy. Do you guys have any last questions?
Yeah, guys, y'all have any questions? I mean, the medication speculation. The rest of it's not. The Tony shooting, I don't know a whole lot about that.
I'll let you know.
Y'all got to remember, these kids now are growing up in a time where it's only been war and murder and everything else in the news. I mean, since Operation Desert Storm up until this point, that's all that's in the news. Somebody's dead, somebody shot up a school, somebody's doing this, we're fixing to go to war, Russia might shoot missiles, North Korea's doing something. That's what they're seeing, that's what kids are getting fed. They're hearing that all day.
Just don't blame video games.
No, Lord, no, I've never played a game and said I want to go out and kill
exactly, that's what I say.
It's not Call of Duty or Fortnite.
Exactly.
No, it's not. It's not even the fact kids knowing how to use guns. It's not. Those are not the problems. It's who ends up with the gun and how they use it. Because the gun, I've never had a gun jump up and just shoot people. It usually involves somebody holding it and aiming it at somebody.
I'm telling you guys, you guys don't want to mess with Alabamans and their gun laws. They will not give up their guns no matter what. I'm telling you, they will not. They will never, ever bow down to gun control, ever. And you get someone that's born and bred here, will never give up their guns.
Oh, I wasn't born here. Don't get that wrong. But, yeah, no. Yeah, Brian St. John, did you ever play Pong and then decide you might go shoot up a park?
Well, Brian might have thought of shoot up a park.
Pong incites violence. It's a little hard knowing that I can't think of the house anymore and the way that it was and what it was at the time. But, you know, and at the end of the day, most likely it's either going to be knocked down or nobody's going to be there, probably.
I think you should knock it down.
I don't know anybody that could comfortably sleep in there knowing. Because Mason's a victim too. Don't get me wrong on that. Yeah, he may have premeditated this or whatever, but he's fixing to enter into a system that doesn't always rehabilitate people, and the people in there aren't usually the nicest. I suspect that we'll be reading in the next couple of years that he didn't make it to jail.
Wow, you really think so?
I do. I think if he ends up going to jail and gets transferred after a certain age, I think that he'll probably end up getting killed.
Because of his age or because of his personality?
Because of what he did. I mean, I don't think a lot of people are concerned about the parents. They keep saying the kids, but a lot of people don't think about. There's tons of times in history where kids have killed kids, and it wasn't surprising. Yeah, those
You
he
just
shouldn't have done it. No, I mean, like in the Bible, Cain killed Abel. I mean, no, they don't talk about the age, but yeah, they were young.
you just brought
I mean,
up a really, really good point that I never even thought of, and I'm
that's
not
the
getting
first
into.
murder in history that's documented. Cain killed his brother Abel.
I'm not religious.
Think about that. I mean, that child in the Bible had the intent to kill somebody and did, and tried to hide that fact. Yes, God forgives. I agree with that.
No, but listen, I don't have time to get into the whole thing now because if I don't eat, I'm going to pass out. But, I mean, I've been like on the go since 8 o'clock this morning.
I noticed.
But, this is really good for discussion later. You look at jails and the history of jail. Child murderers get killed in jail. Child murderers get hurt. Child rapists get hurt. But child murderers do get hurt. And if you're a child and you kill a child and you're in an adult prison, that can't be a safe area. You killed a 6-month-old baby. You're all muffled. You're all muffled.
I said if they find out who he is and what he did once he gets there, then that's going to be it probably. People don't like pedophiles or child murderers and those kind of things in jail. They don't. They give them. I don't know what to call it, but I know that they call it justice.
That's what I'm saying. That's pretty crazy though, and that may keep them from charging him as an adult, knowing that he could die. He didn't just murder some guy or some girl. He killed a child. How's the
juvenile detention in Alabama?
No idea.
Well, our sheriff is under investigation, so I'm going to say that it's probably slanted.
Is he really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Go check that out. That was like 2 weeks ago.
Why is he under investigation?
I don't know. There was a big list of stuff. I didn't read it.
No shit. I gotta look into that. Case Lynn will be right on that.
I mean, he did say you can indict a ham sandwich. That's the truth. But when it's got sticking power and it's got the authority of the coroner and stuff behind it, most likely something's going on there. People don't just stir up that kind of stuff and arrest the sheriff and then he bails out. That kind of stuff don't just happen on, I think he's doing something.
That's true. That's very true. But Carol, how long can they possibly isolate a kid? I mean, if he's doing life, you can't isolate him that long. It's not that would be a miserable
They're not
life.
going to keep him in there. They won't keep him separate. They're not going to give him his own cell. He's not special from anybody else that's done something in there.
No, especially not murdering 5.
No.
That's crazy.
Long-term psychiatric, maybe, but I mean, he needs to be watched because he could get out and he could be pretty mad at everybody around that area.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this isn't just over because he's arrested or indicted or in jail, and we've knocked the house on and everybody's gone on or whatever. Because I mean, as soon as the next big story comes, no one's going to remember this.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, nobody remembers the little boy that wandered out into the woods and died. Nobody remembers him.
Where was
Nobody's
that?
even talked about it again.
Where was that?
It wasn't here. It was,
Oh.
I can't remember where it was now, to be honest.
That's not good.
I just know it was a 2-year-old, and they said the dad did it, and they put him under the ground, and it was the grandma did it. She went watching him and all that. And it turns out that he had just wandered off and died of hypothermia.
Wow. Little boy they found.
Yeah, the one they found near the water. Yeah, in Pennsylvania. That's it. There you go. Thank you.
All right, so Sheriff Blakely.
Yeah. I don't know what to think about that because there's no information on it. But yeah, I mean, if y'all want to know what the law system's like down here right now, it's under investigation. So
that's funny. The two highlights. One day ago in Limestone County, Sheriff Mike Blakely leading investigation into killings of 5 people. Second title, arraignment set for Judge Blakely.
That's what I'm saying. He's still doing his job.
Okay. On August 26th.
He's been the sheriff for like I don't know, before I was born, probably.
On August 22nd, Limestone County Sheriff Mike Blakely was booked into his own jail Thursday morning after being indicted on 13 counts of theft and ethic charges.
There you go. That's it.
The 13 charges cover conduct over multiple years, according to Steve Marshall, the Alabama Attorney General. Blakely's been Limestone County Sheriff for 36 years. First 4 counts is thefts from campaign account totaling $11,000. Counts 5 through 10 with illegally taking money from Limestone County funds, including the Sheriff's Law Enforcement Fund. Count 11 charges Blakely with soliciting $1,000 wire transfer from a subordinate other than ordinary course of business. Counts 12 and 13 use his official position in office to acquire interest-free loans. Specifically, counts 12, Blakely was using his
so you
official
see what I'm getting at? We're pretty tired of the news here.
Yeah, I hear you. Interest-free loans in a form of $50,000 cashier's check, $22,000 credit. Count 13 charges Blakely with using his official position to office to obtain interest-free loans by taking money from a safe that was used in the Limestone County jail inmates' personal funds. Wow. Let me repeat that. He was caught, he's charged with taking loans from county jail inmates. AG Officer Blakely is not required to resign because of the indictment. That's a whole live in itself.
Yeah, if you want another story, there's one right there.
Exactly.
I mean, nobody's talking about that no more.
Oh.
That's quite a problem.
I don't know if I really want to dig too into it. I have
I honestly,
at my
I would
door.
not. But does anybody else have any questions?
Oh, that's interesting. Does anyone else have any questions before I melt? And his 14-year-old will be kept in juvenile lockup. We don't know. If he's tried as an adult, he won't be. Had prisoners in pink. If anyone, all right. So Aaron, I want to thank you so much for coming.
Sure.
I want to thank everyone that got you to my channel. You can tell them that, nothing is bad.
I agree with that. That's after I watched and saw what you were doing, it was a lot different than what I was expecting because, like I said, CNN is rude. People drove up from Birmingham. The only thing I don't think they've done is a drone yet. If they try to do a drone, we did mention a lot of us have guns. We'll probably shoot the drone. So, just saying.
All right. So I hope we can keep in touch.
I personally don't have a gun, but you get my point.
I do. I hope that we can keep in touch as this case unfolds.
Sure.
All right.
That's fine.
And everyone subscribe to Aaron Amy's channel. And guys, I'm going to hit the road in about 15-20 minutes. I have to eat some before I pass out. And I'm going to go over to Tony. I'll take you guys for the ride. It's a beautiful ride. And I'm going to go see what I can find over there. So that's it. So Aaron, again, I want to thank you so much. And I will speak to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.